but then we have multiple selves and one God. Multiple selves are there in practice. As you all know, everyone is a separate self or soul. But in reality, all these selves are only one self, which is capital S self, which is God. And that is Om. That is what the Manvika Upanishad demonstrates. If you want to remain individual self or individual soul, you can remain. Normally, we are like that only. But actually, all the individual souls are part of the universal soul or Om or God. If only you realize that, then you will find there is only one Om, and that is God, and that is self. And to realize that is moksha. If you come back to individual self, then you will have your identity, you will have your context, your relationships, your problems, etc. If you transcend the individual level and merge into the universal soul, then you are liberated from your individual constraints, individual problems, individual relationships, etc. But it is, I want to ask you all a simple question. Is it practically possible to all of you to reach the Paramatma level and remain in it? Can anybody answer? Yes, please answer. Is it possible or not possible? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you please answer? Is it possible or not possible?
It is possible with proper sadhana and proper guru.
Any other answer? Normally, it is not
Sir,
possible. Normally, under normal circumstances, we are individual soul only. We are having our individual identity. And so that sadhana, what is that sadhana? That sadhana is given in the Yoga Shastra. Therefore, out of the 108 Upanishads, there are a good number of Yoga Upanishads. Till now, we have discussed only Vedanta Upanishads. Okay. So, Vedanta Upanishads will talk about the truth, not necessarily having experience of it. It is like saying any citizen of India can become Prime Minister of India. In the Constitution of India, it is guaranteed that any citizen of India can become the Prime Minister of India. That is true. But can you become the Prime Minister of India? Or can he become, or can she become? And who will become? Somebody will become definitely. But how much it is feasible or how much it is difficult or impossible? It is almost impossible. In principle, it is possible. But it is almost impossible for an ordinary person to become Prime Minister of India. Whosoever has become Prime Minister, they had extraordinary path of life. So in the same way, in theory, the Vedanta is theory. It says that you are God. But in practice, in reality, you are not experiencing that you are God. You are only experiencing you are man. You are an individual soul. And you are having so many problems. So when you have so many problems, every day coming new problems, how can you say that you are God? You are not God. Therefore, you pray to God, oh God, solve my problems. This is a fact. So this process of praying to God is bhakti. Now, from a man level to God level, how do you evolve or how do you develop? That is the whole question. So for that, we have a number of methods, and yoga is one such method. Bhakti is another method. Of course, Jnana Yoga Sadhana itself is also there. I want to clarify that in Jnana Yoga Sadhana, the only sadhana is to remember always, which is impossible normally, but try to remember always that you are God and you are not man. So the moment you forget that you are God, you get into trouble. That very second, within 1 second, you fall into trouble. If you always maintain an awareness that you are God, Aham Brahmasmi, then you are already liberated. There is no need for moksha because you are already in moksha. God has no moksha. God is always in moksha. So the Jnana Yoga Sadhana is to keep on thinking Shivoham, 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 Soham, 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 Soham. I am He, I am He, I am He. I am Shiva, I am not Jiva. So this is Jnana Yoga Sadhana. And coming to the next level, which is Raja Yoga Sadhana, and the next level, which is Bhakti Yoga Sadhana. In Bhakti, it is only Dvaita, God and me. So I pray to God first to solve my problems, second to make me evolve, grow in level, finally merge in that God to such an extent that you don't exist, but only God exists. Like the salt crystal trying to go to the bottom of the sea. When it goes down and down, will it come back? It will merge. So that is Bhakti Yoga. Now in the Raja Yoga, which we call as Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali Yoga, etc., 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 we have a different method. We don't have exactly Bhakti, though Ishvara Pranidhana is one of the principles in Yama and Niyama. There is a procedure. There is a 8 steps procedures. If you follow those procedures, if you practice those procedures, then you will evolve, you will grow from the individual soul level to the level of God. That is the whole idea. Any questions till now on this perspective matter? I just gave you the Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga perspectives. You ask me any question before I start the Upanishad, Yoga Tattva Upanishad.
Sir, how about Karma Yoga? You said Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga.
Karma Yoga is even more basic, even less basic to Bhakti Yoga also, because you don't have to believe in God also. So in Karma Yoga, you simply do your work without attachment to the result of the work. You do it perfectly as a duty, as a service, as a dedication, but without getting obsessed with the results. That's all. There is no question of there is no question of reaching God or anything there. In all these three, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, there is a procedure of reaching divine level. That is, you reach God level, or you become God, or you merge in God. Whereas in the Karma Yoga, there is no such thing. God itself is not there. Need not be there. God may be there, God may not be there. It doesn't matter. I perform my karma perfectly without obsession or attachment to the result of my karma. That is Karma Yoga. So only in Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, I and God are having a connection. Finally becoming one, or realizing there's only one. There are no two. And then you can say only Shiva is there, Jiva is not there. Or you can say only God is there, Bhakta is not there. Any other person wants to make any comment on this basic
I have-
perspective? Yes.
I have a question. In this Karma Yoga, you said there is no aspect of God, but then in Karma Yoga, is it also true that you do your karmas without any expectations or for the result, but then you also surrender to God while doing your karma?
If you surrender to God by doing your karma, then it becomes Bhakti Yoga.
Oh, thank you.
And that is called Ishvara Pranidhana in Raja Yoga. In Yama and Niyama, Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapas, Svadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana. Because in pure Karma Yoga, there is no need for God. It is just detachment to the obsession to the result. It is not detachment to the work itself. That means that you stop doing all work and sit and say, I am in Karma Yoga. You have to go on doing your work. Nobody can stop doing work completely. But you have to do it with an attitude where you are not obsessed with the results of karma. Whether it will lead to salvation or not, it will definitely result in the escape from the result of karma. It need not necessarily make you evolve to the level of God. Future mics. So Karma Yoga will help. In fact, Karma and Bhakti go together. Bhakti Yoga only. Next step to Bhakti Yoga is Jnana Yoga through Raja Yoga. Raja Yoga is a practice. There is no theory in Raja Yoga, except Yama-Niyamas theory. All the rest is practice. And even Yama-Niyamas are practice. And Jnana Yoga, it is only repeated assertion of your identity. As I told you last time, one story, very interesting story. One king went to forest with his army and his small son, young boy. So they did a lot of hunting in the forest, and finally they returned back, and they lost their small boy son in the forest. They tried a lot, but they could not locate. So finally they returned back home. So after that, 30, 40 years have passed, and the king became very old. He was going to die. Then he asked the army people to go and search in the forest whether they can locate that lost son. So they finally, after a lot of searching, they located that one person who is 30, 40 years old and brought him to the kingdom. He has some identification marks to identify it's the same person who was lost. Now, the king wanted to hand over the kingdom to that man who is now going to be the next king. He was the original prince. So everybody said, okay, now you are the king. You take over this kingdom. And that fellow says, no, I'm not the king. I am a forest dweller. I do hunting. And I know only that much. I don't know anything else. I am not the king. He says that. So now the question to all of you, when will that fellow become the king? Because he's already the king, but he's not accepting that he's the king. He says he's only a hunter in the forest. Can anybody answer this question? When will that fellow become the king?
Only when he realizes that realization comes to him that he is a king, or he was born as a, for that, and but he lost into the jungle.
Correct. Same story in Vedanta.
When he got to know that his father is a king,
No, he forgot everything. He does not remember that he was the son of the king.
He has to be made go through that a continuous process that he should understand that he is the son of king.
And he has some qualities, characteristics, resemblances, and some proofs and some marks and evidences that he is the son of the king, and therefore he is the king. So this story is
Someone should help him to realize, like make him realize with some
yes,
facts, scientific proofs saying, yeah.
yes. All these answers are partial truths. Okay, mute your mics. Now in Vedanta, this process of remembering or realizing or asserting that you are Brahman, not You're an individual man, but you are God. Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. Soham, Soham, Soham. This is the sadhana. That's all. There's no other sadhana. In fact, surprisingly, in Tamil language, there's only one letter for both Ja and Sha. You can say Jiva or you can say Shiva. Both are written in the same letter. Is there anybody here who knows Tamil language?
Little bit I know, sir.
Yeah. Tamil language, Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja, and Sha, Sa, all are same.
Yes, sir.
Yes, mute your mics. Yeah. So you can write Jiva or you can write Shiva. It is the same thing. It depends on how you interpret it. You can write same letter and say this is Shiva, or you can write the same letter and say this is Jiva. So that is the beauty of Tamil language, which is having great philosophical impact. That this Jiva himself is Shiva, but then he lost that identity. वो भटक रहा है, इधर उधर घूम रहा है. So वो जब तक उसका ज्ञान नहीं होता, realization, self realization, which is God realization only, both are same. Until then he will remain as a man and he will face all problems. Morning you open your eyes, you are opening with a set of problems. When you close your eyes in the night, you are again sleeping with set of problems. And when you die also, you die with problems. When you are born with problems. So when is it that you will be free from problems? So this is the methodology. Otherwise, nobody will come to philosophy. Nobody will come to these subjects. Everybody who is coming to Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, whatever it is, or any religion, all religions are having only these things. They are coming only because they are suffering from problems and they want to transcend from those problems. They want to become divine. They want to get divine power. They want to solve those problems first and then go beyond that. They want to become divine. And finally, they want to become God, merge in God, which is called moksha. Moksha means freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from problems, freedom from individuality, freedom from jivatva. Because Shiva has no need for any freedom. God has no need for any freedom. So from jivatva to shivatva, or from jivatva to brahmatva, or from individuality to godhood, that journey is called spirituality, that journey is called sadhana, that journey is called yoga. It can be bhakti yoga, it can be jnana yoga, it can be karma yoga, it can be raja yoga. Raja yoga is called royal yoga because it is the royal path, that you don't have to believe anything and you don't have to be very, very knowledgeable or intuitive or intelligent and all that. And it is entirely practical. So by going through these practical processes of yoga, which means Raja Yoga, Royal Yoga, which has in it inside Hatha Yoga also, and many other types of yogas along with it. And this is the yoga path. So till yesterday or till now, we have discussed only the jnana path. So yesterday in the Mandukya Upanishad, in 2 pages or 3 pages, the entire jnana was given. If you understand those 2-3 pages, if you really understand, if it gets into your head completely, then you are realized, you are enlightened. You are become a jnani and you are in moksha state. You will reach moksha straight away, on the spot, if you understand fully, which is not possible. By now you might have understood that you are not understanding. In fact, some people have dropped out. I know one of my distant cousin sisters has dropped out, getting terrified with this subject, thinking that this cannot be understood. This is Brahma Vidya. That kind of shock will be there because this whole subject is called Brahma Vidya, which is abstract and quite confusing and quite difficult to understand, quite impossible to accept. But that is the truth. Just like that hunter in the forest, and it's very difficult to accept that he is the king. It's an impossible thing for him, but it is a fact. So that process of acceptance is what is all about in all these sadhanas. The transformation, the internal transformation. Okay. Any other point or question you want to make before I start the Yoga Tattva Upanishad? Okay. I think you have understood my main message to this extent. So in the 108 Upanishads, all these yogas are covered. The Jnana Yoga we have covered till yesterday. Isha, Kena, Katha, Mundaka, Mandukya, we have covered. They're all profound texts. And then we also have Aitareya, Daitareya, Brihadaranyaka, Gayatri, and so on. So they are the principal Upanishads, 11 principal Upanishads. In addition, there are many other Vedanta Upanishads, more than 20, 30, in addition to these 11. So totally making 40, 50, 60 Vedanta Upanishads. Then there are about 20 Yoga Upanishads. I've put that list in the WhatsApp group. Like for example, there is one Dhyana Bindu Upanishad. There is one Brahmavidya Upanishad. There is one Yoga Tattva Upanishad, which we'll cover today. There is one Yoga Chudamani Upanishad. And there is one Mandala Brahmana Upanishad. And there is one Advaya Taraka Upanishad. And there is one Shandilya Upanishad. And there is one Pashupat Brahma Upanishad. And there is one Varaha Upanishad. And there is one Yoga Kundali Upanishad. And there is one Amrita Bindu Upanishad. All these are Yoga Upanishads. And there is also one Yoga Raja Upanishad. There are about 20 or 21. We may not cover all of them. Some of them are very, very advanced. They start with statements that Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Though they are Yoga Upanishads, they behave or look like Jnana Upanishads. So now the Yoga Tattva Upanishad, which we will start today, is a big one, and it is starting from basics. I hope you all had access to the Yoga Tattva Upanishad, either in English or in Sanskrit. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I will explain the meaning of the Shanti mantra. Sahana Vavatu. Saha means together, cooperatively. Let us all work cooperatively. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Let us all reap the results and enjoy them cooperatively together. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Let us all put our great virya, courageous efforts together, jointly. And Tejasvinavadhitamastu. So that we become Tejasvi, that means we become bliss, enlightened, completely enlightened. Ma Vidvishavahai. In that process of working together, let us not fight with each other. Let us not hate each other. That also they know that it will happen. The moment two persons come together, there is a fight and there is a problem. So this statement is chanted in the marriage also for the husband and wife. It is chanted in every class between the teacher and the student. And finally, it is three Shantis. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That is peace for physical peace, peace for natural peace, and natural means let there be no cause of worry or pain from nature like we are having today. There's a very big pain called coronavirus. Let that not be there. Let that calm down. And third is internal peace. When this coronavirus was not there, it doesn't mean that all were very peaceful. They were having internal problems. They were fighting with each other. They are fighting among themselves. They are not able to sleep. They are going on worrying. Internal fights, internal to yourself or your own family. So let those things also calm down. Three types of calming down. We cannot say the problems will not come, they will come, but they have to be calmed down. Oh, Charles Savage, welcome. Charles
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, I'm late.
Yeah. Okay, we are just starting Yoga Tattva Upanishad.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so mute your mics. Yoga-tattvam pravakshyami yoginam hitakamyaya yachrutva cha patita cha sarva papai pramuchyate. Now he's saying we are going to start the teaching of Yoga Tattva. That the word Yoga Tattva means the philosophy of yoga or the essence of yoga. Yoginam hitakamyaya. For what purpose? With the purpose of benefiting the yogis, those who practice yoga. Yachrutva cha patitva cha sarva papai pramuchyate. By hearing which or by reading which you shall be liberated from all sins. विष्णुर्नाम महायोगी महाभूतो महातपाः तत्त्वमार्गे यथा दीपो दृश्यते पुरुषोत्तमः तमाराध्य जगन्नाथं प्रणिपत्य पितामहः प्रपच्छ योगतत्त्वं मे ब्रूहि चाष्टांग संयुतम्. Brahma goes to Vishnu, who is a great yogi and great tapasvi. He is like a light of austerity. And Brahma asks him, "O Lord, teach me the essence of yoga, the philosophy of yoga, which is having 8 aspects, ashtangas." Tamuvacha Hrishikesho Vakshyami Srunu Tattvatah. So Vishnu told Brahma, "Okay, now listen to me." So the following dialogue is delivered by Vishnu to Brahma. Sarve jiva sukhair dukkhair ya yajatne yaja sukha dukkhair maya jalena veshtita. All the living beings are trapped in the maya of happiness and sorrow. Tesham muktigaram margam maya jala nikrantanam. What is that method by which they will come out of this maya? And they will come out of the trap of birth, death, and old age and disease. And what is that method to transcend death? Nana margaistu dvasprapam kaivalyam paramam padam. And kaivalya, which is moksha, liberation, emancipation. How it is possible to get? It is so difficult to get in various paths. Before you came, Charles, we were discussing the 4 paths of reaching enlightenment, the path of karma, karma yoga, detached action, the path of bhakti, devotion, which is the core principle of all religions, including Christianity, and the path of yoga, which we are now discussing here, and then finally the path of jnana, knowledge, the jnana yoga, which we have discussed till yesterday in the Ishopanishad, Kenopanishad, Kathopanishad, and Mundaka Upanishad and Mandukya Upanishad. So in the Mandukya Upanishad, your favorite Om was discussed with the 3 states of waking, dream, and sleep, and the Turiya, and that entire Om becoming the only truth. It is having 2 dimensions, 1 dimension as the whole universe, as God, 2nd dimension as the individual, the one who is going through all these 3-4 states. So, and finally, the same Om is both, and finally it is declared that this soul is God. This soul, the individual soul, I am Atma Brahma. So that statement, the Mahavakya, the great statement, comes from this Upanishad, that this individual soul is divine. That is Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. Now, when I asked people before starting this, before you came, whether they all know that they are divine, that they are godly, or they are God itself, God himself, they said no, because we know very well what all we face problems. We have physical problems, we have mental problems, we have health problems, we have social problems, we have all kinds of problems. And definitely God doesn't have all these problems. Therefore, we are not in the godly state or divine state, we are in only human state. So the gap between human and divine is to be somehow bridged. And that bridge, there are 4 types of bridges: the Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga or the Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, knowledge path. So this text is dealing with the Yoga path. So now he is asking, Tesham Muktikaram Margam Maya Jala Vinikrantanam Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhinasanam Mrityu Narakam. What is that path which will bring out a man from this Maya, the what is called the net of Maya, Maya Jal? It is like a trap. We are caught in that. So how to reach emancipation, liberation, kaivalyam or moksha, which is very difficult to reach, and people are stuck up. He also saying patita shastra jaleshu prajnaya tena mohita. This is a very important statement he is making. Scholarly people are stuck in the traps of the texts and their interpretations and their intelligence and debates and arguments. In fact, if you take any two scholars, put them together, they will immediately start arguing that you are wrong and you are wrong. I am right. So every two scholars will argue about some theoretical postulation. That's what this statement here, patita shastra jaleshu, they are all befallen into the traps and the nets of shastras, the books, the texts, and into the trap of prajnaya, intelligent interpretations. Mohita, they are deluded, they are hypnotized, and they keep on arguing and fighting on that. Anirvacham vaktum na shakyam taim surairapi, and such people, the scholarly people, will never be able to reach that. The scholarly people will never be able to reach the divine, because the divine level is not a discussion topic from books. In fact, this statement is also made in the Kathopanishad. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyo na medhaya na bahuna srutena. This supreme self cannot be reached by hearing lectures, nor by having great intelligence, quotient, IQ, or by studying many texts. It is a spiritual experience, anirvacham, it is indescribable in words. Vaktum na shakyam tait surairapi. Even the angels cannot explain in words the nature of divinity, nature of God. Swatma prakasha rupam tat kim shastrena prakashyate. So the nature of the self, which has been talked in all the Upanishads, cannot be explained in words. The Upanishads themselves said it. So that being the case, how is it possible to get that experience or enlightenment? Nishkalam, nirmalam, shantam, sarvatitam, niramayam. That which is pure, that which is peaceful, that which is all-pervading, and that which is without any effects. Tadeva jiva rupena punya papa phalairvrutam. The same divine principle, which is transcendental, peaceful, pure, infinite, eternal. That same principle has become the individual soul, jiva, and therefore caught up in the karma of good and bad deeds, the sins and the virtues, punya and papa. Paramatma padam nityam tat katham jivitam gatam. Being caught up in this Maya trap, you are not able to go beyond it. Sarva bhavapatitam jnana rupam niranjanam. You are not able to reach that divine state, which is transcendental, beyond all thoughts, beyond all words. And varivas puritam tasmin tantra ahankriti ruthita panchatmaka bhutpindam dhatubaddham gunatmakam. Because you are caught up in this body made up of the 5 elements, and you are caught up in the karma traps and the ego, ahankriti, uthita, highly aroused ego, dhatubaddham, caught up with muscle, blood and bones and so on, and gunatmakam, caught up in the gunas. the sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sukha dukkhai samayuktam. You are caught up in pleasure and pain. Jiva bhavanaya kuru. Always caught up in the individuality as the only identity. Tena jiva bhida prokta vishuddhai paramatma. So therefore you end up becoming a human, a soul, a human soul. And then you look at God, Paramatma, with great awe and with great fear and with great expectation. Kama krodha bhayam chapi mohalobha mado rajaha. And you are also getting affected by anger, greed, lust, fear. You open the TV, it will be fearful. You don't know when you are going to die. You will be dying if you go out of the house. The fear is always haunting. And then greed. What runs this stock market and business is only greed that runs. Moha, delusion. What runs the gambling dens? It's all delusion. Janma mrutyuscha karpanyam, birth and death. And desperation. Karpanyam is desperation. Pitiable situation. In fact, today the situation is so pitiable, especially for those who are old like me and you, that we are being told that if you catch coronavirus, that's the end of your life because you are old and they're going to put a ventilator into your trachea, throat, and that inverted post, and you will die gradually, suffering with the ventilator. So one of my friends, Subramaniam, I'm sure you remember him, a tall white. He told me he's not coming out of the house for the last 2 months because you are terrified with the prospect of death. Kshudha, then you are having hunger problem. If there is no hunger in this world, there will be no crime. Trusha, thirst. Trishna, craving. Those who are satisfied with hunger and thirst and having health also, but they have craving for something else. Craving for power, craving for more money, more money. Lajja, that is shame. Bhayam, fear. Dukkham, vishado, sorrowful states. Harsha evach, and suddenly getting excited. In fact, if you can show me one person in this world who doesn't have any problem, I want to meet that person. I've never found any person. Yevir doshair vinirmuktaha sajiva kevalo mata. So he says all these above mentioned bad qualities or defects, if they are not there, then the individual himself is divine. Because the individual is having all these problems, cannot be divine. Now I'll read out in English the same thing what I read out in Sanskrit and explained. I shall now describe Yoga Tattva, Yoga Truth, for the benefit of yogis who are freed from all sins through the hearing and studying of yoga. The Supreme Purusha, called Vishnu, who is a great yogi and great being and great tapasvi, is seen as a lamp in the path of the truth. Brahma, the grandfather, the creator, having saluted the Lord of the universe, Vishnu, and having paid him due respects, asked him, please explain to us the truth of yoga, which includes in it 8 subservient aspects. To which Vishnu replied, listen, I shall explain its truth. All souls are immersed in happiness and sorrow through the snare of Maya. Kaivalya, the supreme seat, is the path which gives them emancipation, which rends asunder the snare of Maya, which is the destroyer of birth, old age, disease, which enables one to overcome death. There are no other paths to salvation. Those who go around the net of Shastras or texts are deluded by that knowledge. It is impossible even for the Devas or angels to describe that indescribable state. How can that be which is self-shining be illuminated by the Shastra or text? That only which is without parts and stains and which is quiescent beyond all, free from decay, becomes the Jiva self on account of the results of the past virtues and sins. How is it that which is the seat of Paramatma, the divine power, the supreme self, He is eternal and above the state of all existing things and is of the form of wisdom and without stains attained the state of Jiva. How is it that the divine power, God, became an individual human soul? A bubble arose in it as in water, and this bubble arose the ego, ahankara. To it arose a ball made up of 5 elements and bound by the tissues. Know that to be the jiva or the individual human soul, which is associated with happiness and misery, and hence is the term jiva applied to the divine power Paramatma, which is pure. That jiva, in other words, this jiva is not an independent entity. It is just a spark, a small piece of God. That's why the Bible said God made man in his own form, in his own shape, in his own type. So God and man are actually same, but because of being trapped with all these things, man lost his identity, separated from God, and thinks he is not God but he is man. God made man in his own image. That's the quote from the Bible. That jiva is considered to be the kevala alone, which is freed from the stains of passion, anger, fear, delusion, greed, pride, lust, birth, death, miserliness, swoon, giddiness, hunger, thirst, ambition, shame, fright, heart-burning, grief, and gladness. So if all these qualities are transcended, then the jiva himself is Shiva. That's a big if though. Tasmad dosha vinashartham upayam kathayamite. So how to destroy all these impurities and defects? I'm going to tell you the solution. And that solution is yoga. Yoga hinam katham jnanam mokshatam bhavati dhruvam. Without yoga, how can jnana give you liberation? Because jnana will remain a piece of paper. It will remain a set of words. Like yesterday we have read, I am Atma Brahma in the Mandukya Upanishad. This soul is God. But it is just a statement which people cannot understand. Most of it, in fact, I asked our audience for the last 5 or 6 days or 10 days, we are reading all the Upanishads. Did you understand? Well, some of them said they understood something, and some of them said they never understood anything. But still they are interested in listening. Because this is not a subject of theory or text or paper or words. It is a subject of yoga. It is a subject of experience. Yogo hi jnanahinastu nakshamo moksha karmani. Yoga without jnana is not capable for moksha. Tasma jnanam cha yogam cha. Therefore, jnana and yoga both are required for the people who want to get liberation. Mumukshu dhrudham abhyaset. Mumukshu means a person who wants to get moksha shall practice both yoga and jnana. Ajnana deva samsaro jnana deva vimuchyate. This worldly life is due to the ignorance, and only knowledge can relieve you or liberate you from ignorance. Jnana swarupamevado jnanam jnayaika sadhanam. So jnana swarupa, jnana is essential requirement, but through yoga. Jnatam yena nijam rupam kaivalyam paramam padam. He who has acquired the knowledge of his own true nature, which is kaivalyam, which is absoluteness, nishkamam, nirmalam, which is pure, without any defects, sakshat satchidananda rupa, which is sat, chit and ananda. Sat is existence, chit is consciousness, ananda is bliss. That is the nature of the self. When I ask you, who are you? You will say, I am so and so. But that is only a name. But actually, if you say you are the body is changing. But you are not changing. The feeling of I remained the same for years and years. But body is changing. It's becoming older and older. So if you say you are the mind will disappear during sleep. And if you say you are the intellect, there is no intellect in sleep. So what is that you are? So you are actually existence, consciousness, and bliss, Satchidananda, and which is also God's nature. Utpatti sthiti saham samhara spurti jnana vivarjitam etat jnanamiti proktam atha yogam bravimite. What is jnana? Jnana is to know that truth which is Satchidananda and which is devoid of creation, sustenance, and dissolution. Yogo hi bahudha brahmi. Now I am going to explain yoga. I have already explained jnana. Vishnu is saying, Atha yogam bravimite. I am going to teach you yoga. Yogo hi bahudha brahma. Brahman bhijjate vyavaharataha. Mantra yogo layaschaiva hatha yogo sa raja yogataha. Arambhascha ghataschaiva tatha parichaya smataha. There are many types of yogas. We have Raja Yoga, we have Hatha Yoga, we have Mantra Yoga, we have Laya Yoga, we have Arambha Yoga, we have Ghata Yoga, and we have Parichaya Yoga. I am reading out again this translation. So I shall tell you the means of destroying the sins. In Christianity, you believe that original sin exists and you are born a sinner and you remain a sinner. And that blood of Jesus will wash your sins. In Hindu philosophy, in the Upanishads, no other outside agency can wash your sins. You have to wash your sins yourself. You have to wash your dirty linen yourself. So how to destroy these sins? How could jnana capable of giving moksha arise? Certainly without yoga. And even yoga becomes powerless in securing moksha if it is devoid of jnana. So the aspirant after emancipation should practice firmly both yoga and jnana. The cycle of birth and death come only through ajnana or ignorance and perishes only through jnana. Jnana alone was originally, it should be known as the only means of salvation, and that is jnana through which one cognizes himself, the real nature of kaivalya or absoluteness as the supreme seat, the stainless, the partless, and the nature of Sat Chit Ananda, without birth, without existence, without death, and without motion and jnana. Now I shall proceed to describe yoga to you. Yoga is, we have already discussed jnana in the last 7 Upanishads, 5-6 Upanishads. Isha, Kena, Katha, Mundaka, Mandukya. Now yoga is going to be discussed here. Yoga is divided into many kinds. Mantra yoga, that which is with mantras. Laya yoga, that which is absorption. Hatha yoga, which is asanas and pranayama and so on. And Raja yoga, which is higher stage of Hatha yoga. And there are 4 states common to all these different yogas. And those 4 states are Arambha, beginning, Ghata, Parichaya, and Nishpatti. Etesham lakshanam brahman vakshe shrunu samasatah matrikadiyutam mantram dvadashabdam tuye japet kramena labhate jnanam animadi gunanvitam alpa buddhirimam yogam sevate sadhakadhamaha laya yogaschittalayah kotishah parikirtitah gachan tishchan swagan brunjan nashvan dhyayen nishkalamishwaram स एव लय योगस्याद् हठ योगमतः शृणु यमश्च नियमश्चैव आसनं प्राणसंयमः प्रत्याहारो धारणा च ध्यानं भ्रूमध्यमे हरिं समाधिः समतावस्था साष्टांगो योग उच्यते महामुद्रा महाबन्धो महाभेदश्च केशरी जालन्धरोड्डियाणश्च मूलबन्धस्तथैव च दीर्घप्रणवसन्धानं सिद्धान्तश्रवणं परम् वज्रोली चामरोली च सहजोली त्रिधा मता एतेषां लक्षणं ब्रह्मन् प्रत्येकं शृणु तत्त्वतः लघ्वाहारो यमेष्वेको मुख्यको भवति नेतरः अहिंसा नियमेष्वेका मुख्या वै चतुरानन सिद्धं पद्मं तथा सिंहं भद्रं चेति चतुष्टयम् प्रथमाभ्यासकाले तु विघ्ना स्युश्चतुरानन चतुरानन आलस्य कथनं धूर्तघोष्ठी मंत्रादि साधनम धातु स्त्रीलौल्यकादीनि मृगतृष्णा मायानि वै ज्ञात्वा सुधिस्त्यजेत् सर्वान् विघ्नान् अपुण्य प्रभावतः. O Brahma, I shall now describe to you, listen attentively. One should practice mantra along with its matrikas or intonations, and for a period of 12 years. Then he gradually obtains wisdom along with siddhis such as Anima Garima. Weak persons of weak intellect who are least qualified for yoga practice this. There is a mantra yoga. Mantra is given along with bijaksharas and intonations. It is chanted every day for thousands of times for minimum 12 years. If it is done, you will get result, siddhi. And those results could be special powers and it could be enlightenment. The second is Laya Yoga, which tends towards absorption of the mind, chitta, and is described in myriads of ways. One of which is one should contemplate upon the Lord who is without parts, even while walking, sitting, sleeping, or eating. This is called Laya Yoga or absorption yoga. Now here the description of Hatha Yoga, on which we are conducting this course of 3 months and 6 months and 1 year. This yoga is said to possess the following 8 subservient wings. Yama or forbearance, Niyama, religious observances. Of course, Yama itself has 5 principles, Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Asta, Aparigraha. Niyama has 5, Satya, Ahimsa, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhyaya, Iswara, Pranidhana. Asana, posture, Pranayama, breath control, Pratyahara, subjugation of the senses, Dharana, concentration, Dhyana, contemplation or meditation on God in the middle of the eyebrows or in the tip of the nose or any other form, and Samadhi, that is a state of equality. Samadhi, Samata Bhava. Now, in addition to this, we have Mahamudra, Mahabandha, Khechari, Jalandhara, Uddiyana, Molabandha, uttering without the intermission Pranava, Om, for a long time, and hearing the exposition of the supreme truths. Vajroli, Amaroli, Sahajoli, which form a triad. All these separately I shall give a true description of. O four-faced Brahma, among the duties of Yama, moderate eating, and not others, forms the principal factor. Yuktahara viharascha yukta cheshtascha karmasu. In 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he explained. Non-injury and non-violence is most important in Yama. The chief postures, the asanas, 4: Siddhasana, Padmasana, Simhasana, and Bhadrasana. Bhadrasana is nothing but similar to Vajrasana. These are the static poses. We have many dynamic poses. They are not described here. Different Upanishads give different poses, different aspects of yoga. These are the earliest texts of yoga, before Patanjali, before other texts. And what is prohibited for all these yogas is given here. Laziness, idle talk, association with bad characters, acquisition of mantras, playing with metals, alchemy, and getting humanizing, and getting into delusions of mirage. A wise man, having found out, should abandon all of them by force of the virtues. Pranayamam tatah kuryat padmasana gata swayam Sushobhanam matham kuryat sukshmadvaram tu nirranam Sushtham liptam yugomayena sudhaya va prayatnatah matkunair mashakair mul mashakair lutair varjitam cha prayatnatah dine dine cha samrishtam sammarjanya visheshatah vasitam cha sugandhena dhupitam guguladibhi Natyuchritam nati nicham chailajina kushottaram. This particular word has been copied into Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter. Tatropavishya vedhavi padmasana samanvitaha rujukaya pranjalischa pranamedishtha devatam tato dakshinavastasya angushtenaiva pingalam nirujya purayedvayam vayum idayatu shanai shanaihi Yadha shaktya virodhena tatah kuryacha kumbhakam punas tyajet pingalaya shanairevan navegatah पुनः पिङ्गलया पूर्या पूरयेदुदरं शनैः धारयित्वा यथा शक्तिं रेचयेदिडया शनैः तथा ययात्ययेत् तया पूर्या धारयेत् अविरोधतः जानुप्रदक्षिणीकृत्य न दूतं न विलम्बितम् अङ्गुलिस्फोटनं कुर्यात् सा मात्रा परिगीयते अङ्गुलिस्फोटनं कुर्यात् मात्रा परिगीयते इडया वायुमारोध्य शनैः षोडशमात्रया कुम्भयेत् पूरितपञ्चासु षष्ठ्या तु मात्रया रेचयेत् पिङ्गलानाड्या द्वात्रिंशन्मात्रया पुनः पुनः पिङ्गलया पूर्वं पूर्ववत्सं आहतः प्रातः मध्यं दिने सायम् अर्धरात्रे च कुम्भकान् शनैराशीतिपर्यन्तं चतुर्वारं समभ्यसे. He has explained the entire procedure of pranayama. All of you know pranayama, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you are doing, he has explained here. How you breathe in through left nostril deep, then hold for some time, breathe out through the right nostril, again breathe in through the right nostril, hold for some time, breathe out through the left nostril. This process is Puraka, Rejika, Kumbhaka. So only Charles, have you been doing pranayama? No. Okay. I'll just show you. You just have to take deep breath through the left using your right hand. And breathe out to the other after holding for a while comfortably. You can do it in the early morning or in the evening for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And we have a long procedure. I performed pranayama for something like 15 years daily in front of my teacher. Then I reached various levels of advanced state like Kundalini Samadhi through pranayama only. एवं मात्रत्रयाभ्यासात् नाडी शुद्धिस्ततो भवेत् यथा तु नाडी शुद्धिः स्यात् तथा चिह्नानि बाह्यतः जायते योगिनो देहे तानि वक्ष्याम्यशेषतः शरीरलघुता दीप्तिर्जठराग्निर्विवर्धनम् पृषत्वं च शरीरस्य तदा जायेत निश्चितां योगविघ्नकराहारं वर्जयेद् योगिवित्तमः लवणं सर्षपं चाम्लम् उष्णं रूक्षं च तीक्ष्णकम् शाकजातं रामठादि वह्निस्त्रीपथसेवनं प्रातः स्नानोपवासादिकाय क्लेशांश्च वर्जयेत् अभ्यासकाले प्रथमं शस्तं क्षीरवज्रभोजनं गोधूममुद्गलशाल्यात्रं योगवृद्धिकरं विदुः ततः परं यथेष्टं तु शक्तः स्यादायुधारणे यथेष्टधारणाद्वायो सिद्धे केवलकुम्भकः केवले कुम्भके सिद्धे रेच पूर्वविवर्जिते. How long we should do pranayama until automatic Keval Kumbhaka comes? Of course, these are all very advanced. Nowadays, it is not possible to teach very advanced pranayamas. We are teaching only basic pranayamas. And those who practice pranayama have to have diet control. He has given a list of prohibited items. Many of the items which we eat are prohibited. And also, fasting is prohibited because pranayama itself is intense. And what kind of diet should be taken? Milk with rice, or with wheat, or with barley, warm, hot food. And the signals of successful pranayama practice, within 3 months, if it is done in the correct way through Guru in the correct steps, it will produce miraculous results. Nadi Shuddhi and external symbols like you become light, the body will be thin, light body, and good digestive fire, thin appearance, So these are some of the well-known results of pranayama. Now, once again, I repeat that pranayama is very dangerous if it is performed wrongly. A lot of people perform pranayama, but it will be all done wrong. And when you do it wrongly, you get into new diseases, new problems. Pranayamena yuktena sarvaroga kshayo bhave. Pranayamena viyuktena sarvaroga samudbhava. Do wrong pranayama or with the wrong quality of air, you get all new diseases, new problems. But if you do the right pranayama with the right teacher's guidance, the right diet and the right time and the right quality of air, then you get miraculous results. Natasya durlabham kinchit trishu lokeshu vidyate. Prasvedo jayate purvam. So he is giving various stages. I have gone through all the stages in my younger days. First, there will be a lot of sweat coming out. Liters of sweat used to come out from my body. I was doing very intensive pranayama, not like what you people are doing nowadays. It's very simple and short. And after that, there will be kampana, that is vibrations on various chakras, automatic vibrations, without your effort, without your control. And then thirdly, there will be levitation. I have experienced all these things. That's why I'm able to talk with confidence. Padmasane sthite yogi tatha gacchati bhutale tato adhika taram vyabsadvi. I have seen myself I am going up in Padmasana, and I have seen my seniors going up even more higher. Padmasana sthevaso bhumim srujya vartate. Leaving the earth goes up. Atimanusha chesthadi tatha samarthyam udbhave. Then there will be special powers like extra smells, reading thoughts, forecasting future. I've seen all this happening to my gurus, some of them, Swami Siran Bharti. And darshayech samarjam darshanam viryavattaram kalpam va bahudha dukkham yogi navyathate tada. So many special powers come, and alpamutra purushas, and there will be very little excretion coming out of the body and less sleep and less sweat. These are all symptoms of successful pranayama. But unsuccessful pranayama can land up in a hospital. Bhuchara siddhi syad, bhucharanam jaye kshamaha. Then there will be other powers flying in the air and even conquering tiger or other animals, including lion. You might have seen many stories of some yogis sitting on the tiger and walking. And even the appearance will be very attractive and beautiful. These are the powers of yogis. Tadupa vashaga naryaha kankshante tasya sangamam yadi sangam karotyesha tasya bindukshayo bhavet varjayitva striya sangam kuryad abhyasam आदराद योगिनो अंगे सुगंधश्च जायते बिंदुधारणात् ततो रहस्य पाविष्ठुः प्रणवं प्लुतमात्रया जपेत् पूर्वार्जितानां तु पापानां नाशहेतवे सर्वविघ्नहरो मंत्रः प्रणवः सर्वदोषः. I am skipping some lines and I am going to the practice of Om. Charles, you remember I made you all do Om resonance in that church in Augsburg. So it was great resonance. So he's now explaining how to chant Om, Pranava, long Om. And that is the best way to overcome all the defects. Eva abhyasa yogena siddhir arambha sambhava. Tato bhavet ghatavastha pavanabhyasa tatpara prano apano mano buddhir jivatma paramatmano. Anyonyasya avirodhena ekata ghatate yada ghatavastheti. Then comes what is called ghatavastha, which is the merger of the individual with the cosmic, jiva with Shiva. Purvayasa kathidam अभ्यास चतुर्धांश परिग्रहे दिवा वयदिवा सायं याममात्रं समभ्यसेत् एकवारं प्रतिदिनं कुर्यात् केवल कुंभकम्. Keval Kumbhaka is a state where automatically the breath stops. It is before Samadhi. I have gone through this with Swami Shilanand Bharati, many of these things. So, next level to Shilanand Bharati is our Dikshitluji, and all our friends have gone through training with Dikshitluji. I have also gone through. But Shilanand Bharati's training was much higher order, and his gurus were of much higher order. You remember, Charles, we went to that place where my teacher was buried near Bhopal. We went together. I went there again recently with my son. Shilanand Bharti was buried at a place called Chipaner. His name is Shilanand Bharti. He was my guru. I learned pranayama from him. And recently I visited him. And he entered Samadhi also. So, now going to the next after Kumbhaka is Pratyahara. Yajjat pasyati chakshubhyam tattad atmeti bhavayat. Whatever you see, you should realize it to be yourself. Yajjat shrunoti karnabhyam tattad atmeti. Whatever you hear, you should remember that it is yourself. Labhate nasaya yajjat ado atmeti bhavayat. Tad atmeti bhavayat. Whatever you smell, you should know that it is yourself. Jikhvaya yadrasam hyati tattad atmeti bhavayat. Tvacha yajjat sprushot yogi tattad atmeti. Whatever you touch, whatever you smell. एवं ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणां तु तत्तद् आत्मनि धारयेत् याममात्रं प्रतिदिनं योगी यत्ना atandritah. If you can hold all your senses within yourself as your own self for yama 2.5 hours, yathava chitta samarthyam jayate yoginotvam, then you get into higher powers. Dura shruti, dura drishtihi. Television, not this television. He will see automatically in his mind what is happening in that place. Like Sanjaya could see the events of the war, the Gita and all that. Dura Shruti can hear long distance. He can see long distance. Shana Dura Gamastra, also he can travel long distances in space or in sky very fast. Vak Siddhi, whatever he says will become true. Kamarupatvam, can take any form. Adrishyakarani, he can become disappeared. And K gatistasya jayeta. We talk of the space travel and sky travel by the advanced yoga siddhis, those who have reached very high levels. These are all explained very clearly in the lives of various yogis, Gorakhnath, Matsyendranath, and also we have the Buddhist yogis in China, Northeast, Sikkim, or Bhutan. They have actually experienced all these siddhis. Tada buddhimata bhavyam yogina yoga siddhaye. Yete vigham, but he's making it very clear that all these powers are only obstructions. Mahasiddhe naramateshu buddhiman. An intelligent man will not get lost or stuck with these powers. Nadrishyet sarva samarthyam yasya kasyapi yogirat. He will not waste his time and energy in such demonstration of such powers. Yatha mudho, yatha murkho, yatha badhirayeva. He will remain as if he is innocent, he doesn't know anything, or he is a dumb person, or is a fool, or is a deaf person. He remains incognito. Tadha varteta lokasya swasamarthyasya guptaye, to keep his power secret. Sishyascha swasvakaryeshu prardhayanti, and all the disciples will come and pray. I want this, I want that. Tat karma karavyagnaha swabhyase vimrito bhave. If that man starts fulfilling all the desires of all his disciples, then his own sadhana will go for a toss. Evam bhavet ghatavastha, that is the highest state of ghata yoga or ghatavastha. Santata abhyasa yogataha. Anabhyasvatascheva vrutha goshtya na siddhyati. It will be reached only by those who have performed tremendous sadhana. Tasmat sarva prayatnena yogameva sadabhyaset tata parichayavastha jayate abhyasa yogataha. Vayu parachito yatnadina saha kundalini. Now he's talking of kundalini. In the higher levels of pranayama, kundalini gets awakened. It goes to the sushumna. and vayuna sah chittam praveshocham mahapatam yasya chittam swapavanam sushumnam pravishediha bhumirapo analo vayurakashachedi panchakaha yeshu panchasu devanam dharana panchadochyate padadi janu paryanta prithvi sthanam uchyate. Up to the knees it is called prithvi zone. Prithvi chaturasram va pitavarnam lavarnakam parthive vayumaropya malakarena samavich. There is a la bijakshara jayam chaturbhujakaram chaturvaktram hiranmayam dharayet panchaghatikam prithvi jayam apnuyat. So by doing that particular sasana, he will get Prithvi Jayam. He will conquer Prithvi. Similarly, he will conquer Vayu. He will conquer Jala. That means he will be unaffected in all those domains. Tato Jaladbhayam Nasti. Jale Mruchurna Vidyate. There, if he conquers Jala, then he will not get death in Jala. He has no fear. Similarly, Vayu. Similarly, Prithvi. Apayor Hadayantancha Vahisthanam Prakirtan. Then about fire. He is explaining all these advanced practices which are much beyond all of us. Then Ghatika Yoga, Dhyana, I'm skipping many of this because these are very advanced. And having reached that, if he conquers all that, if he reaches that Samadhi and reaches Samadhi, Samadhi Samata Avastha. So Samadhi can be reached in 12 days by someone who has reached the Ghatika stage. Nirguna dhyana yukta samadhischa tato bhavet. Sagunam dhyana metat syat animadi guna pradam. With Saguna dhyana he gets animadi ashtasiddhis. Anima, Garima, Lagima, Mahima, Prakami, Isatva, Vashatva. And after that Nirguna dhyana he reaches Samadhi, which will be Vayu Niruddha Vedhavi Jivan Mukto Bhavati. He becomes Jivan Mukta, having stopped the Vayu. Samadhi Samatavastha, Jivatma Paramatmano. That Samadhi is a state of Samata, equanimity or equality of Jivatma and Paramatma. What we talked of the individual soul and the cosmic soul. That means man and God will merge in Samadhi. Yadis Swadeha Utsrushtumischa Chet Srujet Swayam Parabrahmani Liyate Natasya Utkrantirishyate. He directly merges in Parabrahm and there is no death. Atha no chet samrutsishtam svasariram priyam yadi. Sarval, if he wants to retain his body, he can retain and he can travel in all the different lokas. Sarva lokeshu viharat animadi gunan with all powers. Anima, Garima, Lahima, Mahima. Kadachit svechaya deva, we can become angel and go to heaven. And he can become man or he can become yaksha, he can move anywhere. Within a second he can reach anywhere. He can transform to any form. He can become either a lion or a tiger. Yadva yogi Maheshwaraha. He is Shiva himself. Abhyas vedato bhedaha alantu samamevahi. So it all depends on what level he reaches. We are talking of the very, very, very advanced yogis who have those powers. We have heard of such names. Gorakhnath, Matsyendranath are some such names. Also Dattatreya. And Lord Krishna himself was a great yogi, Mahayogeshwaro Harihi. He had all powers. You know what all he did. Arshnim Vamasya Padasya. Then he is going to explain various other practices. I am skipping some of the delicate secret practices because there is no point unless they are learned in practice from a guru who himself knows those things. And I don't think today most of these people know any of these things. And finally, I conclude with the last 140 to 142 slokas. Kurmaha swapani padadi shiraschatmani dharayet evam dvareshu sarveshu vayupuratarechitaha vividhamti navadvare urdhvam prang vishwastaha khatamajyeta deepo nivatam kumbhakam vidhu vishuddhaitar navidvare nirjanai nirupadrave nishchitam tvatmam Avasishtham Yoga Seva Yet Upanishad. As a tortoise draws its hand and head within itself, so drawing in air thus and expelling it through the 9 holes of the body, he breathes upwards and forwards like a lamp in an airtight jar which is motionless, so that which is seen motionless through the process of yoga in the heart, and which is free from turmoil, and having been drawn from the 9 holes is said to be Atma, self alone. Om Sahanavavat Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we open it for questions or discussion. Yes, any
Sir,
questions?
attaining to Samadhi Sthiti is just a step ahead to immortality, or this is the last step?
No. In Samadhi, you are merging with God. Jivatma is merging with Paramatma. Samadhi, Samata Sthiti, Samata, equality of man and God. So that is a step towards liberation. And you remain in that, and if you die in that, or you give up your body in that, then you are liberated. But if you want to continue with your body, you can continue as a liberated living being, Jivan Mukta. And if you want to exercise all your powers by which come by then you can exercise. But if you exercise, you will only be losing your level.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Hmm.
if a person reaches some path or something like vibrations in heart or some feeling over in between the eyebrows through bhakti at a stage, and after some time by fear he or she leaves the things, मतलब जैसे unknowingly कि मेरे को क्या हो रहा है या what is going on with me, without any gyan, and after some time again the circle repeats, and if now the person is getting gyan and not feeling the things, what is the confusion? I don't know.
No, it doesn't matter. You don't feel those things. Those things are all temporary states. Okay. Okay. Understood what I said?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Next.
There was one question, sir. Kindly clarify and aura. Both are depth concepts. Why the dual movement? How can it be vanished?
No. Repeat again. I didn't. I couldn't hear.
Kindly clarify Turiya and aura. AURA aura.
Aura is nothing but the pranic body surrounding the physical body. Around the physical body, suppose around the hand, there will be about 5-6 inches. There will be a pranic body. That is called aura. So that pranamaya kosha, that can be experienced by those who practice advanced pranayama. I have also experienced. And it can also be experienced by pranic healers like Sokusi and all these people and their disciples. They can experience, feel, they can clean, they can give treatment to patients. That is aura. Now, Turiya is the samadhi type of state where you are enlightened and you are one with God. Your individual is joined with Supreme. They're totally different things. Next.
There was why the dual movement. Ravi, it is a question from Ravi sir. Why
Yeah.
the dual movement? How can it be vanished?
Which dual moment?
No, Ravi sir, please clarify.
We'll discuss in person otherwise. Yeah.
And another question is, sir, you have done advanced pranayama daily with your guru, or you have done with the guidance individually?
No. I have done along with my guru in front of him, and his power also plays a big role. Unless he is a very advanced person, he cannot exercise any power. That Swami Sriram Bharti was very advanced. He not only entered Samadhi, but he had Siddhis also. And his gurus were even more advanced, much more advanced.
How many days practice बोल रहे हो?
No, I told you many years, not days. You keep it aside. You leave it. Don't worry about me. You worry about yourself.
There is a question from Charles sir. Can we aspire to the society's moksha?
Yes, the society is made up of individuals, and the more number of individuals are enlightened, the more the society will be tending towards moksha. There was some study done also. In the transcendental meditation, there was a study done on the impact of transcendental meditation practice on crime levels in Los Angeles City or New York City and those days. So even if very few, let's say 1% of the population practice meditation, yoga, all these things, the crime level in the whole city was coming down. So this was done, and this study was done. So if more and more people, 1%, 2%, 5% maximum, if 5% of the entire population is into advanced yoga or some level of advancement spirituality, then the rest 95% will be totally transformed. 5% is enough. But even that 5% is not there today. Okay?
Yes. I think today's Yoga Tattva Upanishad, ये सब जो है, it has been transferred to the, it has been taken into the Hatha Yoga Pradipika and all that. They have taken from here.
Possibly. Hatha Yoga Pradipika is a 10th century AD, 11th century AD book.
Because
So,
most of the techniques are given there also.
definitely. Not only in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, they are also given in Shiva Samhita, Gyan and Samhita, and other Yoga Upanishads.
Yes.
But you see, he's giving slightly different descriptions for some of the things, and only few asanas are described, not all asanas. In some other texts, some other asanas are described.
Only 4 are described here. Simham,
Yeah.
Padmam, Siddham, Simham, Bhadram.
Yes, there are more than 100 textbooks on yoga, of which I have myself studied around 50-60 textbooks, including these Yoga Upanishads, which are 21 or so. And then Gita itself is there, and then we have Gorak Samhita, and Goraknath has written many books. One book which he has not been printed, as we're trying to print. We got it from Tanjavur manuscript library, and Guruji was trying to edit it, and suddenly Guruji died. So it got stuck. So many texts are not printed also. Yes, what is this question which came up just now?
What is the measure of prana in pranayama? 16 angula. Is it possible for grahastha to do the bandhas?
For Grahastha, today it is not possible to reach 16. Not possible. If you can reach 4, that is a great thing. 4 itself is a great thing today. Because the air is completely polluted. Standards are very poor today. But I have seen Bade Pandit ji, Veerabhadra, Vande Mataram, Veerabhadra going to 16 level. 16, 64, 32, 128. And he was levitating 3 feet, 4 feet above his base. I've seen it happening. I've gone only up to half of that level. But he has gone ahead of me. And nowadays, people can't go very high levels. First of all, the air quality is so bad.
Another part was that grahastha can do the bandhas.
So a few of them, we have put some bandhas in Sukshmayam also. The Mula Bandha, Udyana Bandha, and Janandar Bandha are there in Sukshmayam. That we are teaching. That can be done. And Mahabandha will be slightly difficult, but some people do. I teach Mahabandha also, I do Mahabandha also. But Brahmacharyas people only can do more. It will be only It's like a backward class. The forward class will be in brahmacharya ashrama before marriage.
Another question, while doing advanced pranayama, as you said, vibration will be there on chakras. To come back
Yes.
to the normal situation, Guru
Yeah.
instruction is necessary, or with our will can come back?
No, it will automatically come down because these chakra vibrations will come only at particular time and particular context. They will not come every time, everywhere. So when you are sitting in pranayama posture, when you are doing pranayama only, they come and they stop also. And they, in the progress forward, they all stop and samadhi comes after that. Without vibrations, it is only lower level. Anyway, all this we cannot discuss. In fact, I skipped many portions today also. And many of these things are secrets and they are not practical and they cannot be discussed in public. And they are not feasible also in modern times. Many of these things. Yeah, now Charles asked one
Another
question.
question. Today we have social distancing, but do we not also need carbon distancing and ignorance distancing?
Absolutely. In fact, it is surprising that the coronavirus has managed to breach the ozone hole. You know this, Charles? Yeah, the ozone hole has got breached thanks to coronavirus lockdown because of the stopping of vehicular pollutions, factories, and the river Ganga got cleaned automatically. But that must be temporary. Once you are back to the pavilion with all the bad things, again things may go bad. In fact, you will be surprised, Charles, that this social distancing was in practice in India for centuries. In the house itself, they will not touch. The ladies who cook the food, they will not touch anybody else. And no utensil in the kitchen will be allowed to be touched by anybody. And this was being practiced for centuries. Even today, it is practiced by very few people. That is called untouchability, so to say. And untouchability was being attacked like anything. That is a different thing, different type of untouchability. What is social distancing is nothing but untouchability. Why all these heroes are not coming forward against untouchability in social distancing? Yes, next question.
Yes, sir. Even Abhi Corona has made even there was a news that even in Italy and other countries, the oceans also, many of the animals and the species, they started coming near the shores because of the people are not going. वो भाई भी चले गया उनको.
No,
Okay,
but
anybody questions? Anyone?
no, I want to make one important comment regarding coronavirus and yoga. See, the pranayama, whatever pranayama, if you can practice, that will definitely improve the immunity levels. And it is a very effective mechanism against catching infection of coronavirus. Because once the level of oxygen is very high in the lungs, then your antibodies will be produced higher automatically. And you will be withstanding any infection. In fact, this has happened already to some people, and it is obvious. It's common sense. That's why the doctors are recommending yoga practice, pranayama practice during these times to be immune to the catching of infection. And corona infection is the antithesis of pranayama, the opposite of pranayama. What happens in corona infection? The lungs are affected. The fellow cannot breathe. He cannot breathe. And slowly, when he cannot breathe, his heart will start collapsing and he will die. So basically, breathing is the main thing. What is pranayama? Regulating breath. So if your breath is in your control, And corona is long far away from you. As simple as that.
Yes,
Okay.
anybody, no question? I think we'll stop and thank you all. Kal kaun sa le rahe, sir? Tomorrow?
I'll inform you. I'll
Okay.
inform.
Thank you, sir. Namaste. So, namaste to all. Thanks.